country, Mr. Speaker, that actually even claimed the lives of 11 students from KU. Again, struggling young people in this country who are comrades, who should not die without seeing their dreams come true, Mr. Speaker. I think that it should be declared a national emergency. And these are my reasons, Mr. Speaker. In 2020 and 2021, Mr. Speaker, the number of lives that we lost during COVID was 5,668. And I hope Chairman can be able to fact check on that as well. But, Mr. Speaker, if we had COVID and we declared a national emergency on COVID issues in this country for over 2.5 years, Mr. Speaker, and we had 5,668 deaths. You remember 2007 elections, Mr. Speaker, when things were heated in this country, we lost about 1,000 lives, Mr. Speaker. Yet we have got people dying on our roads on an average of 4,628 every year, Mr. Speaker. If we don't declare the road carnage that we are seeing in this country an emergency, Mr. Speaker, we are never going to deal with it. Because if it is not declared, even the ministry concerned, Mr. Speaker, cannot be able to deal sometimes with issues of road signages in this country that makes it impossible for even road users to know where there's a simple bump at night.
What is the point
or know where there's a simple...
Senator Eddy, just take your seat. Yes, Senator Kenya, proceed with the point of order.
Mr. Speaker, I'm wondering, because it's just a statement, I'm wondering whether Eddy is debating the statement. I thought just to make his comment.
Senator Eddy, proceed to conclude. And don't start a debate on these statements.
Mr. Speaker, you know, Senator Kenya is my senior.
Just proceed.
And
Senator Eddy.
What I'm trying to say, Mr. Speaker, is that these statements, we're just sending them to these respective ministries, departmental ministries, so that there can be what we call a proper action taken on these statements. And one of the proper actions that we need to take by those ministries that I'm saying, Mr. Speaker, is being able that when the minister will be talking to this, he should tell us why we cannot be able to declare this issue a serious national emergency and be able to deal with the patent issues on our roads that do go and concern the issue of signages on our roads, to be able to reduce these accidents on our roads, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I support these two statements wholeheartedly because they are costing so much lives, and mostly, the most affected people tend to be young people, Mr. Speaker, who should be able to see their dreams come true in this country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, allow me to make this communication before we proceed with the interventions. In the public gallery, we have 148 students, from 4 students and 5 teachers from Kiurani Boys High School in Tharaka Nithi County, who are undertaking a one-day education visit in the Senate. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate, on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. Also, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of visiting students from students leaders from Kenyatta University School of Law in Nairobi City County. The delegation comprises 11 students who are in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Now, Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcome visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I will call upon the Majority Leader to extend the word of welcome to the student leaders from Kenyatta University, and Honorable Deputy Speaker, you may extend a word of welcome to the delegation from Tharaka Nithi. This has to be done under 1 minute for both of you. Proceed, Majority.
I was hoping, Mr. Speaker, that the Deputy Speaker doesn't interrupt, so that if I do for both schools, you'll allow me then to make my comments on the statements. But I abide by your guidance. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity on behalf of the Senate to welcome the students from Kenyatta University Law Campus who are here on an educational tour. This is the Senate, Parliament of the Republic of Kenya. All we do here is talk, talk, and talk, because that's what parliaments do. People share ideas, they critique government, they support, they exchange ideas. That's what you come to do in this house. And as students of law, I am sure you will get an opportunity to see how lawmaking works. It's unfortunate that you have come on a day or an hour when we are yet to get to the real business of lawmaking through second reading and third reading, so that you get to appreciate and see the kind of rigorous debate that goes on during the consideration of amendments and such like things. But nonetheless, Mr. Speaker, I welcome them to the institution of the Senate. I know they have been given a good study tour with our very competent staff, Mr. Speaker, and I know they will learn more even as they engage with us. Mr. Speaker, I'll be remiss if having gotten an opportunity that I failed to appreciate the Form 4 boys from Tharaka Nithi. The name of the school escapes my mind, but I want to wish them well as well in their studies. I was a Form 4 student exactly 20 years ago in 2004, and here we are today. So I want to tell them that your journey to greatness is on the right path. I wish them well. Mr. Speaker, I forgot something very important, that we have students from Kenyatta University here, and the institution is mourning because of the very unfortunate incidents that happened with the accident involving students from that institution. It's really unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, what has happened to many institutions. Commiserations to Kenyatta University as a fraternity, pole to the families of the bereaved, and we wish comfort and God's grace. And so that those students' lives are not lost in vain, Mr. Speaker, I want to challenge our transport, Roads and Transport Committee. This is something I was to say this morning when the minister was there, but I did not get an opportunity. I do not believe, Mr. Speaker, that there is only a design fault on the roads. That's why many school buses are rolling at the same. There is a commercial interest to this, Mr. Speaker. And I agree with those that are telling us that many of these school buses and the public passenger service vehicles that we are seeing as buses are actually lorries that have just been converted into buses for carrying people. They don't have the mechanical makeup of a vehicle for transporting human beings. And we want to challenge the Minister for Roads and Transport to come clean on these particular issues. If there's been anybody at KEBS or Ministry of Transport that has remodified the specifications of what passes the test of a vehicle that is supposed to carry human life, Mr. Speaker, then they should be brought to book. Or if there is lack of sufficiency of laws, then this is a house for making those decisions, Mr. Speaker, so that we don't continue to lose our students. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Deputy Speaker, you may proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want first of all to join my colleague Majority Leader in conveying my condolences to the students from Kenyatta University who lost their lives through a tragic road accident, Honorable Speaker. I want to tell the Kenyatta University family that the Senate and all of us are with them this time, and we are praying with them, with their families, as they list the affected students. Honorable Speaker, the other issue that I want to put across is that these students from Kiorani Secondary School in the Rakanidi, Meru and the Rakanidi, we are two counties, same people. So that is why I felt when I'm this house, I should be able to, I welcome them to the Senate on behalf of the Rakanidi Senator, Senator Mwenda Gataya, who is not here on other official duties of the Senate. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to welcome them and to advise them that they have a very bright future indeed if they take their education seriously. Mr. Speaker, all of us were students, even from very poor backgrounds and small schools, so to speak. So they have the future, their future is in their own hands. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to really advise these young boys to really take their academic work seriously. I know they are very good teachers. The parents are very supportive, so that tomorrow they will be the Kaduris, the Chalgays, the Hallows, I can see Rendama is looking at me, the future Rendamas of this country, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to welcome them and to tell them that they are welcome back to this Senate again and again. Other students from the